Hello, my dear friends. Myself, Professor Dr. Rajendra Raghuvira Deshpande from Pune, Maharashtra State, India, would like to welcome you all in the lecture of Swasthavritta. Very interesting subject for your future, because Swasthavritta can give you a lot of name, fame, and money. Because whenever we work in the foreign countries, basically they are all the health spa. Especially, I worked in the Spain lot of time, and we had their center, and I used to visit from 1993 to 2014. 20 years I have visited, from 10 days to 3 months in this spa, and also Germany and Italy and all these countries. But basically what I want to tell you, that these people in the health spa, they come not actually for getting the treatment, because there in the foreign countries you cannot use our own medicines from especially herbal mineral preparations we cannot use. We can use only herbal tablets as a nutraceuticals. The word is nutraceuticals. That means the food supplement. So, for example, Guduchi Ghanavati, we used to use there as a food supplement. Guduchi Ghanavati for Pitta and Pitta Kapha problem and Prakriti. Then we used to have that Shatavari tablet, Vata and Vata Pitta diseases and Prakriti. And then we also use the Ashwagandha Ghanavati, Vata and Vata Kapha problems, etc. But basically, we used to examine the patient and determine the Prakriti, which is very important part for the Swasthavritta. And according to Prakriti, we have to guide him what type of the food he should take and what type of the food he should avoid, that which panchakarma he should go for, and what type of the oils that they should use, etc., etc., and what type of exercise, what type of the occupation. And we also had lectures based on the dinacharya, daily regimen, then the rutucharya, seasonal regimen. So these all the topics of Ayurveda, and also we have the fortunate that we have the yoga and the naturopathy and all these allied, what you can say, the treatment parts included in the Swasthavritta. Swasthavritta is the information to keep ourselves healthy. What is swastha? Samadoshaha, samagnischa, samadhatu malakriya, prasanna atma indriya manaha, swastha iti avidyate. In the modern terminology, it is sama, sama, sama. Sama is a homeostasis, balanced, not hyper, not hypo. Jada nahi hai, kam nahi, vruddhi nahi, kshay nahi. So everything is normal. Okay. Now just I wanted to tell you that for the Swasthavritta part 1, there are two papers for you, paper 1 and paper 2, and in each there is a part A and part B. So from the first paper, we have talked a lot about, we have some lectures. So we talked about the Swasthavritta prayojana and the lakshana. What is the aim and object, why we should study the Swasthavritta. Then we talked about dinacharya, 24-hour routine, daily routine. For example, in the morning rituals, say for take Brahme Murti Uttishte, Jirna Jirnam Nirupayam, then Abhyanga, then the your business, then diet and exercise, all we dinacharya. Then we say about Ratricharya, which type of the bed you should have, then which type of the sexual activities you can perform, and all these things Ratricharya we discussed. Then we have the Rutucharya, seasonal regimen. Total 6 Rutus are there. Shishir Vasanta Grishma is called as the Adanakal, and Shishir Vasanta Grishma, Varsha Sharad Hemanta is a Visarga Kal. Okay. Adana Kal means to take the health or the sturdiness from the human being to the nature. Nature is taking your energy. And then after that, it is also giving you the energy. Varsha Sharad Hemanta. Now, little bit we are in the phase of the Hemanta Rutu. In the coming days, we will have the Diwali vacation and Hemanta Rutu. So, this November, December months are very, very healthy. A lot of cold atmosphere is there, and people don't get any diseases. That's why there is a slag season for the doctors. Very few patients in the dispensary, because everybody is very, very healthy. Hemanta Rutu is the healthiest season. December month is the best in India to have the good health. And then the Shishir Rutu will come in the January. Then the spring will come in the March, April, and then the hot will start. So like that, we have discussed the what is the food is available and that particular period, and what type of the food exercise we do. That is Rutucharya, seasonal regimen. Then also we talked a little about Sadavritta, ethical code of conduct. That means always we should speak the truth, and how we should take care of the humanity. Compassion should be there. So Sadavritta is at the psychological level. Then we talked about the Trayopastambha. You might have been remember 3 pillars of the life. Trayopastambha, that is Ahara, Nidra, and Brahmacharya. That also we talked. Food and the sleep. Sleep is like recharging of your battery, and Brahmacharya is a celibacy, but better way, the proper term is appropriate use of the sexual energy. That is the proper Brahmacharya. Then we have the Rogan Anutpadaniya Adhyaya. That is already covered in the Ashtanga Hruday. Rogan Anutpadaniya is very similar to Navegan Dharayat. Vata, Vind, Mutra, Kshavatruchidam, Nidra, Akasa, Shramashvasa, Jurumbha, Shruchhardiretasam. 13 physical urges, desire should not be stopped. Whenever we want to go to toilet, go to the toilet. Whenever we want to urinate, urinate. When we are hungry, eat something. When we are thirsty, drink something, water. So this is called as fulfilling the natural desires, not creating and not suppressing. Both are bad. Then manasa vega, like kama, krodha, madamatsara, that should be controlled. Negative thoughts of our mind should be under control. Then Rogan Anutpadanya is very similar. If we want to get ill, Roga Anutpadanya, then you should think about these physical urges and the psychological urges. Then Rasayana. Rasayana is now we are going to study in the Charaka Uttarardha. First Chikitsasthana, first chapter is a Rasayan chapter, and there are 4 sections. And then we are going to see, because now in the Charaka Uttarardha we are learning Siddhisthana. We have completed Kalpasthana. Of course, I am not saying I have taken word to word or line to line type of the study. Moreover, we are concentrating on the very, very important topics, and we are taking a nutshell, essence of that particular topic. But the students, the viewers are requested to immediately on the same day, they should open their own purchased textbook, Marathi, Hindi, English, and write down the notes. Prepare your own notes by your own handwriting. Many students are always asking, sir, send us PDF, send us PDF. There are a lot of WhatsApp groups are available, Telegram groups, Instagram groups. They are providing a lot of free PDF. But I personally feel, okay, you can get PDF, but most important, own handwriting. When you write anything by your own hand, concentrating on that topic, then you will remember more. If you have the bunch of PDF and you are not reading any, or you are not writing anything, nothing will help you. So a lot of material is available freely on the internet, on the WhatsApp, on the Telegram. You just search and you will get the material. But that is not important. Understanding is important. That's why Deshpande sir is making you the confident by understanding the topics. That is most important. Okay. Then we have also discussed Ashtau Nindita Purusha, little bit. That means 4 pairs are there. Ati Dirgha, Ati Rasva, gigantism and dwarfism. Very heighted person, growth hormone related, pituitary hormone. Then we talked about the the Ati Sthulo and Ati Krusha, overweight and low weight. That is a Ashtau Nindita, because these are hormonal imbalances, and there is a lot of the efforts to cure the patient. That is what it is called Ashtau Nindita. Nindita means it is not favorable to have this type of the problems. They are not good problems, or rather they are problems. So Ati Dirgha, Ati Rasva, then Ati Sthula, Ati Krisha, then Ati Gaura, Ati Krishna. A lot of melanin is less and melanin is too much. Too much darkness is also bad. Hyperpigmentation or the vitiligo, deficiency of the melanin is also bad. Then Aloma, Atiloma. Atiloma is like hirsutism. You just remember hirsutism. The ladies get the hair here like a beard and mustache. Ladies, and that condition is called. Please write down hirsutism. HIRSU. TISM. Hirsutism, and that is a hormonal problem. Okay, because in the ladies the testosterone starts more increased, and then they get the beards and mustache. Ladies I am talking about. Then we have another topic that we have not taken, but menstrual hygiene is one of the topic in the paper 1, first part A. Now part B is a yoga and nisargopchar. So we have discussed about the pancha kosha sankalpana, anandamaya kosha and pranamaya kosha, etc. Ashtanga yoga, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Then the different types of the pranayam. Then a shatakarma, Dhauti, Neti, Basti, etc. Yogic Shatakarma, purification. Then Bandha and Mudra, like here, Jalandhar Bandha and Mudra, that we have to take. Mudra is also one of the important topic. Then Shata Chakra, that is a Muladhar, Manipur, Swadhishtan, Anahata, Ajna Chakra, Vishuddha Chakra, etc. These are the places where you can have the stored energy which can be stimulated. Then Ida, Pingala and Sushumna Nadi. Then Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, Ashtanga Yoga. Then Nisargopchar, we have discussed about Jala Chikitsa, hydrotherapy, Mrittika Chikitsa, mud therapy. Then Surya Kirana Sevan, sun bath, or it is also called as heliotherapy. Then Mardana, massage, diet types, Upavasa Chikitsa, and Vishrama Chikitsa. All little bit topics, at least we have now in our mind that, okay, these are the topics that we have to make the notes of it. Now we are starting from today, second paper. Paper second, Swasthavritta. I am telling you what is the topics in the paper 2. Part A. Part A. Janapadudwansa, that we are going to see right now. Then Vayu, we will discuss about the air. Today, we are discussing today. Then Jala, regarding the water. Then the Bhumi and Nivasa Sthana, that is the land and housing. Then the Prakasha, that is lightning. How should be the light in our, for example, in this room, I have the adequate light. You can see my face very clear. Is not a gloomy. Okay. Then the Dhvani Pradushan, very important. Noise pollution. Nowadays, it's a big problem. Okay. Then V-Kirana, radiations. You might have been heard in the latest our festivals in India. There, the enthusiastic youths, they used wrongly that particular DJ and big sounds and also laser. And because of the laser rays, some people, they damage their eyes and they become the blind. That is very dangerous. So this radiation also we will discuss. Then Apadravya Nirmulan, disposal of the solid waste. Mala Nishkasana Vyavastha, that is excreta disposal. Then Shava Vinasa, that is disposal of the dead body. Rutu Evam Vatavara Jnana, that is meteorology. Then disaster management. For example, earthquake is there. What we should do? Then occupational health. Whenever we work in the glass factory, special precautions should be taken. Occupation, your business, your services. Then school health service. We go to the schools for the checkup of the students, primary students, secondary students, college students. That is a medical checkup. Then the epidemiology. What is the surrounding and the atmosphere is there. Non-communicable diseases. Then Chikitsalaya Bhavan, that is hospital building. Then this is all about the paper 2 part A. Now I am talking about part B. In the part B, there is a Prathamik Swasthya, what you can say, the Sanrakshana, primary health care. Then Parivara Kalyana Yojana, that is the family planning and the children caretaking. How we should give the food and all these things to the children. Then the Matru Shishu Kalyana Yojana. Matru Shishu. Matru means mother, Shishu means child. Matru Shishu Kalyan, their benefits. Then preventive geriatric. We are becoming old. How we can prevent the old problems? Okay. Then World Health Organization. We will talk about the WHO, World Health Organization. Then international health agencies. Then Alma Alta Declaration. Alma Alta. Then national health policies. Then the health statistics. What is the birth rate? What is the death rate, etc. Then Swasthya. What you can say, the Swasthya Prashanna and national health programs and the national nutritional programs. So these are the topics from the what you can say, the paper 2 second part. Let us start to discuss something about this Janapadudwansa today. There are 3 words. Janapada is a society. All the people around us in the society. Udvansa, there is a problem in the society. Health has been lost of the many people, not only you or not only of family members, but all the society members in your society. Everybody is having some problem that is called as a loss of health in all the community. So in the modern type, we say that this is called, for example, if there is a epidemics of the cholera, or in the rainy season, it happens, epidemic of the cholera. So in whole the society where I am living, Kapila society, many peoples, many children, they are affected with the jaundice. So that is called as an epidemic. I request, please write down this word EPI, DEMIC. Epidemic is an affection by the disease in a small colony or the community. Epidemic. Gokhale Nagar area, where I am living in Pune, Gokhale Nagar area. Okay, so many people, many cases, doctors, everybody, doctor is facing. Okay, jaundice cases are more. Jaundice cases are more. Okay, so that is epidemic. मराठीमध्ये आम्ही त्याला साथीचे आजार म्हणतो बरं का. साथ आलेली आहे, कावेळीची साथ आली, टायफॉइडची साथ आलेली आहे. तर हे साथीचे आजार म्हणजे एपिडेमिक्स. देन फॉर एक्झाम्पल इन होल ऑफ द महाराष्ट्र देर इज अ स्वाइन फ्लू. स्वाइन फ्लूची साथ आली संबंध महाराष्ट्र. All the Maharashtra has been covered. Many people, many cases are there in Maharashtra. Then that is called as a more than epidemic is an endemic. Please write down ENDEMIC. First I mentioned epidemic, then endemic. More area is covered. And latest we have the corona. Whole world is affected. That is called as a pandemic. So three words are important in this Janapadudwansa. We are talking about this para. Okay, so you can concentrate. Janapadudwansa. So Udvansa means problem with the disease. So small group affected, epidemic. Maharashtra affected, endemic. And whole world is affected, pandemic corona. Write down, pandemic corona. That is Janapadudwansa. Okay. So the disease which produces the destruction of the health, of course, destruction of the, not houses or the money, destruction of the health of large population. What are the main causes? Dushita Vayu. Whole area, the air is contaminated. Then Dushita Jala, for example, jaundice epidemics, because of the, what you can say, the Dushita Jala, contaminated water. Then Dushita Desha, whole country has been affected. And Dushita Kala, that particular period, last 2 years, 2019 to 2021, whole world was suffering from the corona pandemic. Corona Mahamari. It is called in Marathi Mahamari. Mahamari झालेली आहे. Root cause for vitiation of the Vayu is why this all happens. They said that it is a adharma or misdeeds of the past performed by the intellectual errors, that is prajnaparad. Sinful acts may be in the form of wars, demons, gems, and curses. So this is an explanation from Ayurveda, Samhita. But basically, you can understand, even in the corona, you might have been heard that the scientists were making some research on that particular virus, and they have not taken the proper precaution, and then immediately that virus spreads throughout the, from China, it starts to the another countries, and it is spread. So it is a prajnaparad, not taking proper care is also called prajna. Prajna is an intelligence, wrongly using your intelligence, not properly using. Now, for example, the people are constructing their houses. People, most of the people are constructing their houses by cutting the mountains. Cutting the mountains. They don't bother. Even they build their buildings on the sanitation blocks. नाले जे असतात ना वाहणारे पाण्याचे स्रोत त्याच्यावरती ते बिल्डिंग्स बांधतात. They just buried all these the transport system of the sewage and they built their houses over there. So what is happening if you are destroying the natural flow of anything? Naturally, it will bombard back. It's a bounce back. So whenever the flood comes, there is no drainage of that excess water, and that whole societies, they are underwater. And basically, for example, latest you might have been heard in the Uttar Pradesh, I heard that there is a lot of what you can say, the falls of the big mountains and the big houses. They were built up on the mountains where the soil has not capacity to hold that particular pillars of the houses. But they go and start constructing anywhere, then that is a very bad thing. Now we are destroying the, the jungles, forest. And because of that, global warming is there. Heat is increased. And so there are all the changes in the season. There are all changes in the season. This is all under the consideration of that wrong things from the man. Man is insulting the nature. many times. And that is the basic cause according to Ayurveda. Okay. How to manage these particular conditions? So the prevention is better than cure. Ayurveda always says. So it is better to avoid sinful, bad acts and prajnaparad. Don't do anything which is against the nature. That means if you are cutting all the trees and forest has gone, then that animals, wild animals, they enter into the city, and they catch the people. They, what you can say, they harm the people, the child and all these animals, goats and all these things. And the people are crying, oh, that bibtya amcha tithe angnat disla. The tiger, we have seen the tiger in our backyard and all these things. Why the tiger is coming into your city? Because you are entering, you are not keeping his houses safe. If the forests are safe, then the tiger will not come in the city. Okay, so that is the understanding. You have to write down all these things in the examination. Okay, then Rasayana Vidhi. What we can do? We can build up our immunity. Now you have seen that you have just experienced the corona. Everybody has experienced the corona 2019 to 2021. And there, one observation is that the people who had a very strong immunity, they did not get that particular corona. Even if you understand that considering our Indian population, 140 crore, very, very big population, but still the occurrence of the corona affection is less with compared to America or the Europe. That is maybe because that our immunity is little bit quite better than these people. This may be, I'm not saying this is that, but it is possible. So the most important, by following the dinacharya, by following the rutucharya, taking the chavanaprasha, you can build up your own immunity. Then you will not be affected by epidemic or endemic or the pandemic. Then rejuvenation, that is rasayana, to enhance the immunity. Purva udhrita aushadha prayoga. Physician should be previously collected drugs to treat the people. Whatever he has the storage, he can start using those drugs for the controlling pandemic and Janapadudwansa. Then you teach to the people to follow ethical code of conduct, Swasthavritta. For example, Satya, always speak the truth. Daya, keep compassion. Then Dan, always donate something. Bali, Bali is not killing the animals, remember. Bali is not killing the, Bali is sacrificing your unnecessary greed. Sacrificing, throwing away your greed, that is Bali. Try to understand. Don't make a wrong conception. Always discuss this point with your teachers that Professor Deshpande is telling Bali is not okay. By word to word, they may say. Asakasa, what Deshpande is saying in the Granthas, in the Vedas, they want to kill the animal. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't agree with that. So I make a translation in another way, my own style. Bali is a sacrifice. Yes, sacrifice. But sacrifice of what? Sacrifice of your greed. Not your means, not student, not viewer, but the greed of the people. They should throw away the greed. Then Devata, Archana, yes, keeping the faith on the good things, that is Devata. Is not that we are talking about religion. We are not talking about any Paigambara or Rama or the Ganesha. No. We are not talking about specific Christian and all these things. We are talking believing on the good conduct. Divine is a good. Divine is not specific God. Remember this thing. Then Brahmacharya, controlling your sexual activity. Oj, because Shukra Dhatu and Oj always related. Swasthavritta, then immigration to the Hitakara. In that particular phases, many people travel from here to there. Why? Because they want to remain safe. Many people come back to India and like that. But yes, whenever the whole area has been affected, you can temporarily move to the another place and can prevent yourself from get affected. Now, we will go further. The next topic is Vayu or the air, qualities of the Vayu. Purva eastern winds, the wind coming from the east direction, from the Surya. Surya is always arising on the east side and getting sunset at the west side. Am I right? So, when it is from the east, wind are always nourishing. Madhura means, so, sir, wind, we have to test it? No, my dear friend. Here, Madhura Snigdha indicates, try to understand, Madhura, Snigdha, Lavana, Guru, what does it indicate? They are indicating that it is sometimes nourishing, but sometimes they can be Vidahi, Raktapitta Vardhaka, Sarvaroga Vardhaka. So it is unwholesome for the patient suffering from the injury. If the patient is having some tuberculous cavity or the traumatic injury, that they should not take these easterly winds because they sometimes are the Rakta Pitta Vardhak. They will increase the bleeding tendencies. They can be the Vidahi. Okay? Because there is a Lavana Rasa. Lavana Rasa is always irritating, salty, excessive salty. Okay? Dakshina Vayu, the wind from the south, is also Madhura, Kashaya, Laghu, and Avidahi. Avidahi, it is not irritating. This is irritating, this is not irritating. Rakta Pittahara, controlling the bleeding problem. Chakshusha, best for the eyes. Balavardak, and not aggravating the Vata dosha. It is not aggravating. Vata prakopak nahi hai wo. Okay? Paschimi Vayu. Western winds are Vishada, Ruksha, Parusha, Khara. Very, very dry. It reduces the Sneha. It reduces the Bala. It reduces the Oja and causes the Sadhya Pranakshaya. So, if you are exposed too much to this Paschima wind, that is western wind, then it can be problem because of the degeneration. Then Uttara. Uttara is the north. So first was the east, then was south, then was west, and then was north. Northern winds are Snigdha, Mrudu, Madhura Kashaya Shita. It does not vitiate dosh, enhances Kleda and Balavardak, good for the patients of Kshaya Roga, tuberculosis or any degenerative autoimmune problems, and also patients of the having toxicity, sound toxicity, air pollution, sound pollution, water pollution. Better way, Uttara Vayu will give some relief to this particular. So this is a what you can say the complementary type of the effects. This doesn't mean that we should only exposed to the northerly wind, because there is a. It is very impossible for us to avoid this particular wind and taking this particular wind. Because if it is, for example, they said that it is Purva easterly wind is little bit Rakta Pitta Vardhak. So how I can stop to take the easterly wind? How? It is not possible. But they want to say, if you are patient and if you want to sit in a particular evening or in the early in the morning, then accordingly you can select to face that particular direction, so that whatever the wind will come will affect to your body in the natural way. Okay, so this is the only short meaning, but I think in today's days, this particular description is not that much valid or implemented. Okay, so normal functions of the Vayu Mahabhuta in our body, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. This is Mahabhuta, and this is Mahabhuta means Mahabhuta Vikar, Vayaviya. Now, Dharani, Dharanam, Jvalano, Ujvalanam, Surya, Chandra, Nakshatra, Grananam, Gati. It is maintaining our whole earth. Then Ujvalanam, that means it is also responsible to blow oxidation process. Then Surya, Chandra, all these moving, especially Earth and the Moon, they are moving. So then all the gati or the movement of the stars and planets, it is because of the Vayu Mahabhuta. In the Sharira, they are Srotasanam Pravartanam. All the micro and macro channels, they will be stimulated. Then Phalapushpanam Abhivartanam. All the growing of the trees and flowers, that is because of the Vayu Mahabhuta. Rutunam Vibhagaha. Shishira, Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant. How the Rutus are formed? Because of the division by the Vayu Mahabhut, because of the gati of the earth and the moon and the planets. Okay? Dhatunam Vibhagaha, Rukshana, Shoshana, etc. Shoshana means excessive water is taken away. So whenever you work in the very, very heavy wind, your body becomes dry. And you have to apply some cold creams because lips are dry, our hands and legs, they are dry, your palms will be dry. So drying, nose internally will be dry. Here there will be dryness. So we have to, application of oil is very much essential when you are too much exposed to this Vayu or the air. Okay. In short, movement, development, division, and dryness is responsible on the Vayu Mahabhut. Now we will talk about impure air, contaminated air, which is in Delhi, Bombay, and many places of the India, the air is not very pure. Okay, vitiated or poisonous air, which is polluted with the smoke, then poisons make the birds tired and they fall over the earth. So every creature on this earth, they will be affected with this bad weather. Okay, it also produces the diseases like respiratory problem. Especially, it will affect our pranavah srotas, shwasa marga. For example, I may be little allergic cough will be there. Then all the time running of the nose, that is pratishaya, will be there. I get the migraine attacks, headache will be there, and also the ophthalmic problem, conjunctivitis, redness, watering. All these problems will start if I am exposed to the what you can say, the bad weather or the contaminated weather. So let us move further. Okay. Now we will talk about Vayu Shodhana, Ayurvedic management. The most important is the dhupana. In our house also, there is a dhup stick is available in the market, dhup stick. So you have to burn that dhup stick, and the little bit purification of the water will take place. Mosquito will be out. Huh? So fumigation, it is called the fumigation. In the olden days, they used to perform havana or the yajna with the typical dravya. They put some dravyas in the fire, like karpura, camphor is very good. Bronchodilator action is there. Chandana, irritation, pitta shamak is there. So there will be redness of the eyes, redness of the nose, inflammation will be reduced. Nimba, antiseptic. Guggulu, also antiseptic. Agaru, very pleasant, aromatic. Devadaru, Sarja, Gandhak, sulfur. Laksha, Haridra, turmeric is also antiseptic. So most of the things are antiseptic and also Pitta Shamaka. Now we will talk about the air of occupied room. Indoor air, human occupancy, that means we are living here in the or the offices, brings about the changes in the surrounding air with two aspects. Number one, physical changes. For example, increase in the temperature of the whole room, then increase of the humidity, reduce the air movement, body odor, then the contamination, etc. And chemical changes such as the increase in the CO2 concentration and decrease in the O2 concentration. Naturally, when a lot of people are here, everybody is throwing the carbon dioxide out. So carbon dioxide will increase, but the whole area has a limited stock of oxygen. So oxygen level will be reduced. Now, we will go further. Now we will talk about measurement of thermal comfort. Comfort means happy. Not too much problem with the humid air or the dry air. So air temperature is most important. Air temperature and humidity we have to take care of. Then cooling power. Then that means air conditioning like that. Effective temperature. Then corrected effective temperature. Then MAC release maximum allowable sweat rate. So all these points are only there. You have to learn by heart minimum these points, and then you have to prepare immediate note about this measurement of the thermal comfort. Okay. Now we will see what are the specific numbers or the comfort zone markers are there. For example, feeling pleasant and cool when the temperature in India we are talking about 20 degrees centigrade, not too hot, not too cold. It's very good. Cool and comfortable in between 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. Comfortable is from 25 to 27 degrees centigrade. Hot climate, hot and comfortable 27 to 28 degrees centigrade. Extremely hot 28 degrees centigrade, and intolerably hot, that is 30 degrees centigrade. Now feeling comfort zone, predicted 4 hours sweat rate. 4 hours sweat rate. In the 4 hours, if we get a sweating 1 to 3 liters, that is comfort. Then 3 to 4.5 liters, that is just tolerable. And if it is a 4 to 5 liter or 4.5 liters, sweating is there, too much sweating, then that is intolerable. Now, this is also asked many times. Write down the composition of air. This is popular question. So you have to write down the gases. For example, oxygen, nitrogen is 78.09 degrees, percent. Then oxygen 20.95. Then carbon dioxide 0.04%. Then argon, etc., traces, water vapors, and suspended particles. This is there in the what you can say, the air. Now, we will talk about the most important topic, that is air pollution. Let us talk about air pollution. Sources of air pollution. For example, combustion of the fuels in the industries and automobiles industry. There is a lot of fuel is burned, and so air is get polluted. Respiration of living beings. We people, when there is a lot of crowd, especially if you go on the street in this Diwali festival, the lot of people are there around you, and they make such a big crowd that your air is get polluted because of the lot of the people are expiring the CO2, carbon dioxide. Then the decomposition of that's why the people suffering from the respiratory tract problems, they should not, or they are requested not to go in crowded places at all. Don't go for cinema in the theaters. Don't go any melas and jatras and all these things. Okay, so they better should live in a limited people around them. Okay, then decomposition of organic material, then miscellaneous, like for example incinerators, then the nuclear setups. Now air pollution, air pollutants, which makes the air impure. For example, gases are there, SO2, NO2, nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, then the hydrocarbon. All these gases, they make the air bad weather. Okay, then particulates, some particles like dust particle, fume particle, smoke, mist, and spray. They also make the all the air a little bit contaminated, or the bad weather. Effects of air pollution. What will happen? For example, first will be the health aspect, social aspect, and economical aspect. Three aspects you should remember. Health aspect, for example, respiratory tract infections, then the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, like bronchial asthma or the emphysema. Asthma, of course, the bronchial asthma, cough, then the lung cancer, then the airborne diseases. Social aspect, destruction of the plants and animals, and the economical aspect, that is a corrosion of the metals, etc. Okay. Now we will go further. That is a prevention and control of the air pollution. So PUC for automobiles. That always we do the PUC, always, otherwise the traffic police and the traffic inspectors, they check this your license and all this PUC. But that is very essential, because of the lot of fumes coming from the vehicle, they can make the problems to the other people. Okay, rules and regulations about the factories, how they should take out their all the waste products, then support governmental policies, then use of eco-friendly products and recycling, that is most important. And plantation is making the seedlings of the different trees, and we have to be make a greenery all around us, and you know the plants are taking the carbon dioxide and throwing away the oxygen, so plants are very useful to purify the air. Now we will talk about the ventilation. Ventilation is defined as the science of maintaining the atmospheric condition in the building. Atmospheric condition in the building which is comfortable and healthy for the human being. There are two types of the ventilation. One is a natural ventilation and another is a artificial ventilation. In natural ventilation, you have to talk about wind, then diffusion, and the variation of temperature. In the artificial ventilation, you can talk about exhaust fan, then you can talk about plenum, then the combined or balanced, and air conditioning. So these are about the ventilation. If the time permits, I will discuss little bit more about by referring some another material. Okay. So high altitude or the mountain air. The atmospheric pressure and the partial pressure of oxygen when you uphill, Everest, Himalaya, when you go on the top, there is a, at high altitude, oxygen will be less. Remember this thing. Oxygen. So many the trekkers, they carry the oxygen cylinders with their at their basic camp or the base camp, and then whenever any person gets the trouble, he just bring back to the base camp and provide the oxygen, etc. So less oxygen is the very hallmark or the important when you go up and up. Okay, high altitude. This can lead to the acute mountain sickness due to the less oxygen. It can also lead to the fatal medical problem like high altitude pulmonary edema. High altitude pulmonary edema, very dangerous. Write down. High altitude pulmonary edema, high altitude cerebral edema in the brain. It is also edema, and the condition can be fatal. So we have to take care of you have to learn about high altitude physiology. It was there in the first year BMS. So my dear friends, once again, I will go back and tell you what we have discussed today. Please write down. I will wait for some time when you are writing. Now we are going reverse. Write down. High altitude. High altitude. Here you can see. And mountain air. This point you should write down. High altitude or mountain air. And again, there you can write down pulmonary edema. This don't write down short form, only pulmonary edema and cerebral edema. So in the oral, if you have been asked, tell me about mountain air problem, then you can tell less oxygen and two problems mainly, pulmonary edema, cerebral edema. Write down, write down. I will wait. I will wait. So some points, I always tell my students and the viewers, key points, K-E-Y, key points are important because they are must in that topic. Now, again, you write down the second topic, that is air pollution we have discussed. Only this thing you write down, sources of air pollution. Write down. I will wait. Sources of air pollution. I will make a cursor over there, okay? So it is comfortable for you. Then you can write down air pollution. Sorry, air pollutants. Air pollutants. Just write down, please write down air pollutants. Then effect of air pollution. Please write down effects of air pollution. Okay. Then prevention and control of air pollution. Prevention and control of air pollution. Prevention is always better than cure. Okay. Now here first we will go here Vayu Shodhana. We see the Vayu Shodhana, especially Dhupa, Gugula, then Nimba, Haridra. Only 4 or 5 you remember. Chandana. Then air of the occupied room. Then comfort zone. Please write down. And the most important is composition of air. In the composition of air, my dear friends, many students remember oxygen. They also remember carbon dioxide, but very few remember there is a nitrogen in maximum. So don't forget to write down the nitrogen. Okay. Then we will see what we have seen. Then this is the beginning, Janapadudwansa. And then we talk about the different types of the Vayu. That is the East Vayu and the West Vayu, etc. Okay. So, in Charaka Vimansthan, please write down some references. Charak Vimansthan, chapter number 3. Please write down. Charaka Vimansthan, chapter number 3, Janapada Udvansa. Janapada Udvansa. There they have mentioned that although there are the different causes of the different diseases for the different people, there are some causes which can be common destructor to the society, common causes. So they are called as two types in Marathi or Sanskrit, Charak Vimansthan, Sadharana and Asadharana. Asadharana, very specific. What is meant by asadharana? Very specific. Prati Purusha Niyata. Prati Purusha Niyata. According to the different people, there may be some different pathology and causes. But some are sadharana causes. common to all. So this is that. Dushita Vayu, Dushita Jala, Dushita Desh, these are called as a Sadharana. Then also, what are the Hetu? Janapadudwansa Hetu. Hetu means causes. So, basically they are talking about Adharma. I think here it is, they have written Adharma. We are talking about this part, Adharma. And in that Adharma, basic cause of Adharma is Prajnaparad, not understanding properly. Then there may be Shastra Prabhav, wars. Now you can see the Russia and Ukraine. Lot of people are suffering from the side effects of that battle. Now latest we have seen also the Israel and Gaza Patti or the Palestinian. So any war will damage your health, and that will cause many epidemics or endemics because of the destruction of the whole atmosphere. Then Abhishap, one of the word in Ayurveda, Abhishap. In Charak, he has used the word Abhishap. Okay. Then there is a Bhuta Sangha, means bacteria and viruses. Bacteria and viruses. My dear friends, for the Janapadudwansa, they will ask you Chaturvidha Karana. Please write down. Chaturvidha, four important causes. Chaturvidha Karana for Janapadudwansa. Chaturvidha Karana. Please write down. Number 1, Dushita Vayu. Dushita Vayu, number 1. Number 2, Dushita Jala. Number 3, Dushita Desha. And number 4, Dushita Kala. Dushita Kala. For example, if we get the very hot sun in the Grishma Rutu, in the summer season, unbearable heat, that is called as a Dushita Kala. In the rainy season, in spite of the rain, you are getting the sun every day. That is also not correct. That is also called as a Dushita Kala. Okay. Then we have discussed about how to manage that. Then we have to control our Prajnaparad and Rasayan Vidhi. I think here one must understand Rasayana. You can write down Panchakarma also. Vamana, Virechana, Basti, Raktamokshannasya. They are very much useful in this particular problems in the Janapadudwansa. Okay. Now, whatever the Vayu that we have discussed here, will you please kindly write down the reference that I am telling you right now? Sushruta Sutrasthan, chapter number 21. Sushrut Sutrasthan, chapter number 21. He has discussed about the different Vayus. For example, Purva Vayu, Paschima Vayu, that we have seen just now. Then we have also talked about the Vayu Sangatana. Then we also talked about the Dushita Vayu. Okay. Dushita Vayu. Okay. And Vayu Dushti can happen, Vayu Dushti, because of the Shvasana, because of the Jvalana, then decomposition of the organic matter, etc. And when we want to purify the air, Vayu Shodhana, we can use again the Sushruta Samhita Kalpasthana, and they have mentioned the specific herbs or the plants. For example, Laksha, Halad. Halad is a turmeric. Then Haridaki, Hirida. Then Veldoda, that is cardamom, Guduchi. This type of the herbs can be used for the Dhupana Chikitsa. Okay. And if we do not do, then there will be problem, and it has an effect on the different body parts. For example, I have said that it is affecting your eyes and also affecting your ears, etc. Now there is a Vayu Shuddhi. You can make a Vayu purified by, for example, in a natural way. Naisargik methods are there for purification of the Vayu, and there are some methods which are developed from the human being. So what are the natural things that can clean the air? For example, all the jungle, forest, and the trees, they are mainly purifying the air. Number two, house, rain. Rain is also one of the things that can clear the sediments, whatever there in the whole day. Then there is a lot of air is flowing all around, and that can also make a air a little bit, what you can say, the pure air, and that will remove the contamination. Then Naisargic natural ventilation you can keep at your home, that opposite that particular doors and the windows and all these things. Okay. Then how personal level we can adopt. For example, we have now the waste collectors are there. They are visiting to the each and house, and they collect your ghana kachra and the suka kachra and ola kachra. For example, the waste, because of some weight matter is there, organic matter, for example, food stuff, etc. And they totally dry. For example, only papers and ball pens and pens, all these things. It is a dry type of the waste. Okay, so that we have to do. Then avoid the crowded places. That is one of the important thing for preventing from the air pollution. Then we have to make a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. That is very natural. You have to take especially the cleanliness of the toilets. That is most important. Cleanliness of the roads, and cleanliness of our what you can say, the gutter in Marathi. That is the waste products drainage system. Okay. Then also in the house, you have to clean your house every alternate day with the what you can say, the with cleaning and dusting and also washing by the disinfectants. Okay. Now, what can be the problems with the most problem for the air pollution is the respiratory problems. Then there are some diseases like Rajyakshma, then Ghata Sarpa, that is diphtheria, which is more or outdated, throat infection. Then Shitala, Gower, measles, and the chicken pox. Then mumps and the Dangya Khokla, that is whooping cough. Then also Jantu infected, the dhul, that dust can we inhale, and there may be problem with the like Rajyakshma or the pneumonia, especially streptococcal and staphylococcal diseases. Then silicosis, that can also problem with the that dust. Okay, so we have to take all this matter into account, and we have to prevent all these diseases. Okay. Then Naisargika Pravijana, some of the topics. When we are living in our house, there are some ventilators are there. So in your textbook, please refer your textbook, and there you can see Naisargika Pravijana, that is natural ventilations. Please write down natural ventilation methods that are described by the modern PMC. Okay. So that you have to do by yourself as a note. Okay. Then, for example, air of the occupied room, that is discomfort is experienced in the ill-ventilated and crowded rooms. Death can occur due to the heat retention. Lot of heat will be there. Then comfort zone is the range where the people can feel comfortable, that we have seen. Then indices of the thermal comfort, that is air temperature and humidity, cooling power, effective temperature, and corrected effective temperature. Okay. Then there is a topic, prevention and control of the air pollution. The WHO has recommended the procedures for prevention and control of the air pollution. Please make the note of that WHO's guidelines. For example, they are talking about containment, that is a prevention of the escape of toxic substances into the surrounding air. It can be done with the proper air cleaning. Then second is the replacement, that is replacing the technological process causing air pollution by the new technology. For example, use of the unlead petrol, because when there is a lead in the petrol, it makes a lot of air pollution. So we have to use the unlead petrol. Use of the solar electricity, then natural gas in place of the coal. We don't use now coal. Coal is making lot of air pollution. Okay, this is a replacement. Then dilution. Some air pollutants are removed by establishment of green belt. Green belt in between the industrial and residential areas is an example of dilution of the air pollution. Then fourth point mentioned by the WHO is legislation. Legislation. Air pollution is controlled in many countries by legislation. For example, Clean Air Act, ACT, please write down. Clean Air Act, Ghatana, rules and regulations by the government. Clean Air Act. The government of India have implemented the Prevention and Control of Air Pollution Act, ACT, in 1981. Then international action to deal with air pollution on a worldwide scale. The WHO has established network of the laboratories for the study of air pollution. There are different countries, different laboratories are there. The network consists of the centers at London, Washington, Moscow, Nagpur, and Tokyo. Okay, these centers will issue the warning of air pollution. Then here, there one short note may be asked, important topic, please write down, that is global warming. Please write down global warming. Okay. So global warming is the increase in the average temperature of the earth near surface, air and oceans. This global warming started in the mid of 20th century and is day by day progressive. This was started, it is caused by the increasing concentration of the greenhouse gases resulting from the human activity. Like for example, fossil fuel burning and deforestation, jungle tod. We are destroying the forest and that increases the global warming. The main effect of this will be increase in the average global surface temperature nearly by 3 degrees till the year 2030. Remember this, after 7 years, nearly 3% temperature will be increased. It will cause the sea level will be rise from 0.3 meters by the end of 2050. It can also increase the occurrence of extreme climatic events, like for example, there will be a lot of cyclones. Then heat wave will come and there will be drought, D-R-A-U-G-H-T. It would affect the local, regional and global ecosystem. Nature and we have the system that will be disturbed. It can alter the distribution of rainfall. Sometimes it will be less, sometimes it will be more. Okay, so rainfall will be affected. Summer seasons will be more hot, which will affect the grain production. Grain production will be affected. For prevention of the global warming, the actions like mitigation to reduce the further emission, adaptation to reduce the damage caused by the warming, and geoengineering to reverse the global warming should be undertaken. Then most national government have signed the Kyoto Protocol, K-Y-O-T-O, please write down, Kyoto Protocol, which is trying to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. So my dear friends, this is all about the lecture on the 6th of November 2023, the lecture of Swasthavritta. Now we will conclude and we will meet in the next lecture immediately after 15 minutes about the Roga Nidan Vikruti Vijnan. So thank you very much. Take care and see you soon.